Here. Okay, so we're gonna call this May 26th special board meeting to order. Are there any revisions to the agenda? Is there, so public comment, this is the appropriate time to make place comments about an item not on the agenda, but within the board's jurisdiction. Each action item on the agenda has its own public comment period. In order to protect individual rights of privacy, avoid comments that identify suited for staff members. Additionally, public comment cannot be used to make comments regarding contested cases, grievances, or legal proceedings. Due to open meeting laws, the board cannot respond in any way to comments made during public comment period. Is there any public comment this evening? It's not appearances. Okay. We're gonna move right into our discussion and action items. Action item A, I'm gonna hand over to Lucy Shea, which is the election candidate.
Thank you. Presented for your approval are the official results of the trustee election held on May 5th, 2026. The election was conducted by the Fletcher County Election Office. There were 4 candidates for 3 open positions. Page 10 of the attached PDF document showed the number of votes received by each candidate. I will now read the results. Jerry Boxage received 1,574 votes, followed by Gloria Nelson, who received 1,439 votes, and Karen Hilding, who received 1,276 votes. Trustee candidate Henson was not re-elected. I recommend that you approve the canvass as presented.
Are there any clarifying questions? Is there any public comment on this item? So back to the board for further discussion or a motion.
I move we approve as presented. And second.
Okay, so that's moved by Darcy and seconded by Quincy, all in favor.
Thank you.
I do, yes, as I want.
I think you can still vote. Yes, you can still, you can, all right, yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving on to B, which is the seating of newly elected trustees. We have a change in personnel this evening. I might have Lucy, can you explain that a little bit?
I can explain.
Okay.
In the absence of the county superintendent, Amy Markowitz, notary public, will administer the oath of office to the newly elected trustees. So, Jim, stand up.
So I'm going to read and you're going to repeat after me. You ready? I do solemnly swear.
I do solemnly swear.
That I will support, protect, and defend.
That I will support, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of Montana.
And the Constitution of the State of Montana.
And that I will discharge the duties.
And I will discharge the duties.
Of my office with fidelity.
Of my office with fidelity.
So help me God.
Thank you.
Okay.
And now some signatures, please.
Yes. So I've prepped the papers. So I have Jerry right here. I need a signature here, and it's on the second page as well. Okay. We have a signature here. And I believe it on the second page as well. I'm sorry for it. Let's get you that. Thank you. And your signature here. Okay, and then in the notary book.
Sign my name.
You do. You have to. So I already printed a sign and address, please. Charge. Gloria, on the sign and address. Just sign this. Thank you, and congratulations.
Oh, thank
Yes.
Well,
Well, yes. You're right there. And I'll get you your copy when I'm. Okay.
Karen, you're welcome, Bryce.
Oh, okay.
In fact, you actually have to.
Yeah.
That's where you're going, yes.
Congratulations.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Oh, nice to meet you.
Okay. Good, unsettled. Really settled. Alright, so we'll move on to C, which is the board reorganization with Lucy Shea.
Thank you. I will now accept nominations for the board chair.
I recommend Elizabeth Pittman for board chair. I'll second.
Any other nominations? Any other nominations?
Yeah.
Any other nomination? Okay, Elizabeth Goodman is the next.
Big party, but. My dog. Okay, so now I will facilitate nominations for the vice chair of the board. Are there any nominations?
I nominate Darcy for vice chair. And I'll second it.
Do I have to ask 3 times, Lucy?
Yes, please.
Okay, are there any other nominations for the vice chair? Are there any other nominations for the vice chair? Are there any other nominations for the vice chair? Alright, so that makes Darcy Shellmaker the vice chair. Thank you. Thank you. No. Yes, no. Okay.
No, yeah.
All right, so now we will move on to D.
Is
Yes.
that an action item?
Oh, so we
Board recognition C. Or no, weird.
do,
Yeah.
you know, I did public comment.
Okay.
Oh,
the
you
next item.
nominated
Yeah.
and you voted.
She did not, so on both about them, we can have public comment. Okay, is there any public comment on item C? Back to the. Wait, then back to the board. Do we have, and we vote, okay, so back to the board for a motion or further discussion.
I move we approve chair and vice chair as presented. Second.
As moved by Quincy, seconded by Jerry, all in favor. Okay,
Thank you.
okay. So D is the district clerk appointment. Are there any nominations for the district clerk of Whitefish School?
I will nominate. I second.
Okay, so are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Okay, so Lucy Shea has been nominated as the district clerk. Is there any public comments on this item? Go back to the board for further discussion or motion.
Approve Lucy Shea as the district clerk.
I'll second that. So that is moved by Jerry and seconded by Darcy, all in favor?
Thank you. And we have an open for business.
Okay, perfect, okay.
Yes, yes,
Yes, you.
yes, just to make sure.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready? I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the State of Montana,
the Constitution of the State of Montana,
and that I will discharge the duties
No.
and that I will discharge the duties
of my office with fidelity.
of my office with fidelity.
So help me God.
So help me God.
We are moving on now to item E, which is the activities transportation contract with Mr. Meeks.
Presented for the board's consideration tonight will be proposal that's attached to renew the activities transportation contract through June 30th, 2034. You can see, contract with revisions and then the key copy of that contract. We had a committee, following two trustees, Hanson and board chair. And we reviewed them with Rocky Mountain Transportation several times, making modifications, and came to you tonight these final changes for consideration. And you can see in this contract under Article 2, there are a few changes there. That represents an increase of about 8% for the hour rate. And you can see some of the changes where we crossed out school buses, we crossed out within a 102-mile radius. We changed that, just created a minimum charge of $325. If you go on to the next page, and there's some other things just to highlight. We updated the language related to in the event of a bus or mechanical breakdown resulting in a delay more than 1 hour, the district will not be required to compensate the carrier for the trip segment. So change in language there a little bit. And then you can also see that we've changed the language in scheduling and trips. This is probably the most significant change here. You can look at there, we have activity buses will be prioritized over school buses for the farthest trips, regardless of the specific sport or activity. If the demand for activity buses exceeds availability, the carrier will determine the final assignment of buses. And for any trips outside the county, 2 students per seat will be allowed unless the district approves otherwise in concurrence with the carrier. So those are some of the changes we made to this contract. And then one more that's probably another change that is under Article 4, where we changed some language related to the carrier agrees to purchase an activity bus no more than 5 years old by the contract's effective date. This will ensure that a total of 2 activity buses, neither older than 5 years, are available for the beginning of the 26-27 school year. And buses will be replaced when the odometer reading exceeds 200 miles or is older than 13 years. So those are the big areas of the contract change. And then there's one more at the end, and we could take some questions here in just a minute. Just the other significant change was under Article 14, liquidated damages and major. Should an activity bus not complete a scheduled trip, carrier shall be assessed a liquidated damages of $500 per trip, except the carrier shall be excused from performance. And it lists out some of those other things there. So that was in addition to this contract as well. So those are the big changes. Just want to highlight those real quickly. And Seth Foley from Rocky Mountain Transportation is here. We also have our transportation director, Mr. Josh Brenser.
I just have a clarifying question.
Yes, absolutely.
So would a segment, would that be? Like
One way.
One way there, okay. Just one clarification on what that word meant. And then, so we wouldn't have to compensate them for a segment if there's more than 1 hour delay. But then when you go down to what you were just talking about, the liquidated damages, if they can't complete a trip, then they're gonna owe us money. I feel like we weren't paying them, now they're paying us. Is that what's happening?
So it's an additional fee
Okay,
they would be charged.
okay, yeah. But that's only if they can't complete the trip. So a 1 hour delay could be a segment, but
This is for the entire trip.
that's the entire trip. Okay, so there's a bit of a difference.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So thank you. All right.
That's good.
Okay, and I just clarify a question on that too. If it says in the event of a bus / charter mechanical breakdown, and charter has gone and just bus, so does that mean school buses and charter buses, so now it's all encompassing? Like,
Yeah.
that includes all the school bus and activity buses?
Yeah, it does, and this, the charter and school buses are wrapped under one, is that right?
Yes.
Yes, it's gonna be a wrap. Do I need to go?
Come on.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Pat, I think to get some clarifying questions on this, because we discussed a lot of this in detail, so.
Yeah, so kind of like a 40,000 foot view of this. So basically what we're stating now is we're going for a quality over quantity approach. Okay, so we are going away from the days of having 4 or 5 buses that are sitting on the lot for gosh knows how many days in a row, not being ran, not being touched, and going to more of a quality where you've got 2 buses that are under 5 years old in the fleet to carry these kids to and from safely. Okay, so what happens if we break down either one of those, again, you've got the same charges, everything, but now we're adding in school bus to that. See, before we could only take a school bus 102 miles at the most to carry kids. Now we're saying no matter where these buses are going, the 2 furthest will be the coach style or activity style buses with the comfier seats and the luggage and all that. The remaining buses will be yellow buses. So yes, the bus could end up going, a school bus could end up going to Missoula or somewhere like that if there are multiple activities stacked in one, time frame or have an overlap, which everybody knows, we all have to be honest, there are going to be some days of overlap. We had it this year. I think there was 6 or 7 buses on the road in one day. All to, different locations here and there. We also have a history trip, so there are going to be some things that we're going to have to be very, very creative on, if you will. But this to me is going to set a precedent of, expectations for students, parents, coaches, so that they know, okay, this is how we're going to do it moving forward. The furthest trips, get the nicest buses, get the more comfortable buses. But at the end of the day, my job is to take them to and from safely with as minimal breakdowns as I possibly can handle. Right. So on our school bus replacement cycle, we're getting there, right? We've already ordered a brand new school bus. We're getting to the point where I tried to apply for electric buses, but our buses are too new, so I couldn't get the grant because our yellow is so new. So to me, seeing that, it's like, well, why, fight it when I know these things are just, they're built to be bulletproof. Okay, the safest vehicle on the road is a yellow school bus, right? Second to that is the white school buses that you see rolling around with, the bulldog emblem on them. That's the direction we're going. Our biggest focus is getting kids to and from wherever they're going safely. The best way to do that is put them in the newest equipment I can. And I think this is a great way to start doing that. But setting the expectation that yes, even the football team might have to take a yellow bus if there's somebody else that's, further out. So we may have to take 2 buses, but that is the ultimate, goal of this is that.
Can you tell a little bit about the updates to the yellow, for
The new
the newer buses?
Yeah, so newer buses are coming. I mean, they have collision mitigation in them. They have lane departure, much like everything you see in your cars today. The new buses and trucks of the world have that. So we are starting to see like the newer buses that we purchased, it's going to have air conditioning for a driver, which is something they've never seen in, 150, 200 years of school bus manufacturing. There's now dash AC for the driver. We can put air conditioning in. We can do a lot of nice things with these yellow buses that make them extremely safe and extremely comfortable. Yes, it's still the old style bench seat, but the goal is to get them to and from safely. Sometimes it doesn't mean you need a charter style seat to get to and from an event. So
This is actually a good, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
About the bench seat, which I think is fine, like you said, and in here it does say that if. The wording was just kind of odd to me about the two seats, 2 people to a seat.
I think allowed is the
We were-
right, it should be
it's the-
maximum
Yeah.
or.
I didn't like the wording and I hate to like, is anyone else find that wording awkward to me, I guess, or why was that wording chosen? I'm just asking clarification, because I find it, when I read it, even though I know the intention behind it, I didn't catch the intention based upon the wording. Is there any, do you know what I'm talking
So
about?
I do not.
Where-
Article 3,
Article
Article 3.
3.
Yeah, so it says, the green part is activity buses will be firefighters or school buses for the farthest trip, regardless of sport or activity. And then it goes on, that use the carrier, and then it says for any trip outside the county, 2 students per seat will be allowed. Unless the district approves otherwise in concurrence with the carrier.
So it feels like it should say maximum of 2 seats. Maximum of 2 students per seat, unless the district approves otherwise in concurrence with the carrier. That's how my
Yeah.
brain understood the intention of that. Does that make sense to you though, as the provider of the bus?
Yeah.
You're on the wrong thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're on.
That's what I was kind of wondering what was still on
Yeah.
that.
I mean, they are federally rated at 3 per seat. I mean, the 39-inch seat, we all know that. middle school-
Article 3 sorry.
I think the issue is that, like you said, they are very safe, but that all of the butt has to be on the seat for it to maintain that safety standard, and
Yep.
when you have half of a human hanging off the side of the seat, then that just makes it a little less safe from just the size of the human to the
Yeah.
size of the seat.
I think any maximum would be. Like a
2
maximum.
student per seat max, unless the district.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then if it's a
Yeah.
kindergarten field trip, that's a conversation. that
right,
you
Yeah.
have to have.
to the fire station then.
Yeah.
Well, and this is already outside the county, so like even
Right.
if it's that, it's fine to like,
Yeah.
but so how do we change that here?
We would do it in our motion. We just have to fight further in our
Would we do-
discussion, and then we would do it in our
Okay.
motion.
Yes.
Okay, great. And then my other question was, you mentioned, emergency blankets will be provided. And I was just curious. I mean, that's great. I think that's awesome to spell that out, that emergency blankets will be provided, but why are we choosing to single out emergency blankets only as what will be provided? Cause I know you guys are also, you have like an emergency. kit, so-
It's not
Is there
a
a reason?
federally mandated thing to carry.
Oh, okay,
It's just something we started carrying, obviously, when we had what happened, we started throwing emergency blankets. Just because of the cold weather, we travel, things like
Okay.
that. I think it was just spelled out like, we have to carry fire extinguishers, triangles, all that is already mandated
Gotcha.
in what we have to follow.
okay,
The blanket is not.
got it.
So I
Okay.
just want that spelled out that yes, they will be on every
Every
bus
bus.
that runs on an activity. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's like that's easy.
So clarify, like you mean emergency blankets for every student on the bus? Or
Yes,
is
whatever
it-
it's rated at, yes, whatever it's rated at, it has that many emergency blankets in it.
And then as far as like purchasing the new activity bus, is that a reasonable time frame for you to get that one? It says, because the contract is effective August 1st, I think, of 2026.
Yeah, as of right now, we believe that is,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it's definitely,
I just don't want to set up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Process up for failure.
Yeah.
We're the one that put it in
Yeah.
place, so
Okay.
we're just, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other clear questions? Is there any public comment on this? So back to the board, further discussion or motion.
I would like to change that wording under Article 3. When it's talking about trips outside the county, it's the 2 students maximum per seat will be allowed or something, or
What you say, a maximum.
of 2 students per seat. And I think it's fairly the district approves otherwise in concurrence with the carrier, because it really is based on the size and each of the group that's traveling. Yeah.
We'll see things.
Do you have that language?
You got it.
So that's a motion.
Yeah, that would be in the motion so that.
You want to make that?
I guess I do need to. Make that. I move that we approve the change to wording in Article 3 and say for any trip outside the county, 2 students. Per seat maximum or?
A maximum of
per
2 students per
student, maximum 2 students per seat.
And then the rest of the.
Yeah, and the rest of it.
I second that.
Quincy. Okay, so that is moved by Darcy with the changes and seconded by Quincy. All those in favor? Okay, thank you.
Good.
We're good?
Okay.
We need to do,
To move the.
Move the motion to approve the contract.
Well, all right, okay, now we have a motion, okay, to approve the entirety with the change.
I move we approve. Dave, do you want to say something first?
Did we get public comment?
Yes. it
We
was-
did, initially, we haven't gotten public comment on the change.
Okay,
No,
Okay,
okay,
apologies,
yeah.
sorry.
no, you're good.
I move we approve the contract as presented.
Okay.
I'll second.
So that is moved by Quincy, seconded by Jerry, all in favor. Thank you, so the contract is with the change.
You, in the case of the discussion and all that, because this was a hard much motion, so I wanted to say thank you, I know you guys are working
Yes.
really, really hard to change things and you're making a lot of strides and, I don't know. It's easy for the community to see how hard you're working and, you know, sometimes being on the inside, you get to know exactly what goes on and I just want to say thank you, because I know it's been a lot, you guys have taken on a lot and you're working really hard to keep our kids safe and keep things moving, so, thank you too.
We take a lot of pride in it. So, one thing, I don't know if I've got time to talk here or not, but
Sure.
one of the big things that we do want to do this year and going forward for the remainder, but as long as we're here, is have meetings whichever sport gets together, whether it's fall, winter, spring, whenever everybody gets together, parents, kids, coaches, to go through rules of ridership. Like we do it for our yellow side, right? Parents have to sign, they need to know the rules. We want to do it with our student athletes and set the parents and set them up for what we expect, kids getting on the bus. I don't think it's smart that kids are getting on a bus in flip flops when it's, below zero outside, whether they're riding in a bus or not. Okay, so setting expectations up front, say you need to dress appropriately, things like that to send the message that this is how we do transportation.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great idea.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. We will move on to F, which is the Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction. Recommendation for hire with Sarah Crum and Amy.
Would you like to come up and speak to me? I will make first I want to say that, presented for your discussions. Possible action is the recommendation for assistant superintendent instruction. And you can see by the attachment that you have, the number of applicants, number of finalists, and you can see the interview team there, the board administrative committee, and then the administration and staff were also involved in that interview team process. So our recommendation is Mr. Josh Brinston. And I asked her to come up if you have a question for her or I.
Are there any clarifying questions for Dave?
Do we look at this contract like we do yours or no? Is it more like an admin contract that's just internal?
It's more of a traditional. Okay.
Any other questions for Dave or Kat?
I was just speaking of the contract, so anticipated start date is 7/1, and then how many days is it? Like, is it the position, I guess?
For this year,
Because
we
how many?
settled on 240 days
240, okay.
and the contract will be reviewed on an annual basis.
Any other questions? Is there any public comments on this item? Back to the board for further discussion or a motion.
I know we approve as presented.
A second.
That is moved by Darcy and seconded by Quincy, all in favor. Thank you.
Congratulations, Josh.
Yes. Welcome.
You want to say something?
You can get a new position to get rid of transportation.
I did prepare a
That's
short little.
Transportation.
Still get transport and apparently I get the calendar committee back.
Volleyball with that committee does.
First of all, congratulations to our newly elected trustees. Welcome. And welcome back, Jerry. Thank you for the opportunity to further serve the Whitefish School District. I'm excited for the new opportunity into a new adventure with Whitefish School District and working with my colleagues. I value my time at the Whitefish Middle School as it was the only home that I ever knew for 25 years. Student teaching, assistant principal, and value and grateful to all those, many in the room tonight that helped shape me for this movement into a new position. And again, just appreciate the opportunity for the new chapter and working closely alongside of Lisa and still working with everyone here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Good job.
And also on a note, I continue to hear how good of a job the professionalism of these hiring procedures are going, and so Sarah Crumlin and I hear very good things, so thank you. So for G is personnel recommendations for hire of Mr. Beats and Sarah Crumlin.
Well, in front of you, you have recommendations for hire, and you also have the substitute listed there as well. So the attachment includes the recommendations for hire. You can see we have recommendations for the WHS health enhancement teacher and assistant football coach. 2 × 2. Head golf coach, summer jumpstart counselors, and master teacher. You can see the number of applicants there, of course, and number of items. So for your recommendation, consideration, the candidates presented. Any questions for you?
Can I ask a clarifying question, just because I always get confused when it's at the end of the year? So like, just to choose the position, the health enhancement teacher, the date is 5/12, but I assume this is like the current teacher's finishing out the year. And then this one's for next, is that how I
That's
should?
an interview date?
That's what I'm like, I'm trying to, that's what that means.
Well, no,
right?
the start.
Oh, it just start date, there we go, okay, I was like, I was confused on
The
this.
5/12.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Great, sorry, I'm confused on all the dates.
Any other questions? Is there any public comment on this item? Okay, back to the board for a motion or further discussion.
I move we accept these candidates as presented.
A second?
Okay, that is moved by Jerry and seconded by Quincy, all in favor? One last, oh no, sorry, we are. Yeah, that's it, one last motion then.
And then we adjourn.
A second?
That's moved by Darcy, seconded by Quincy, all in favor. Okay,